Janzen, founder of TriathleteMind and your coach for mastering the inner game of triathlon. In this video, I wanted to address one of the questions I often get asked by athletes, and that is, how do I stop dwelling on poor performances? Usually when I get that question, I like to flip it on its head, turn it around a little bit, and actually say, well, rather than not dwelling on something you don't want, the question is, what do you want, and what should you be looking at? So in this video, I wanted to share with you a 7-step process to effectively evaluating your race day performance. It's a really simple process, but what it does is it allows you to look at a holistic view, take the total view, rather than just those little moments in time where you're really upset with yourself or that final time on the clock and you're disappointed with your final time, your final result. Every race that you participate in, every training session that you participate in, you can always learn something. So this 7-step process will walk you through how to objectively look at what happened and look at how you can improve on that next time going forward. So let me just hop over to my computer and let me show you exactly how to do this.
Okay, so what we have here is a really simple table, a simple grid, identifying the 3 disciplines plus the 2 transition areas. And what you want to do is either on your computer or on just a notepad and paper, create a similar grid to this. And actually I would probably recommend doing this on a computer ultimately. Maybe right after your race you want to just pull out your notepad that you got stuck in your bag and it's easier to take some notes right then and there. But by putting it on your computer, it might be easier to continue to build race after race after race, and you can start to see some trends. But that's a side point. There's going to be 7 steps to look at for each one of these elements of the race. The first step is the facts, and the first 3 actually all begin with the letter F as a simple way to remember it. Here you want to look at the facts, the cold hard facts, the data. What was your time? What was your placing? What was your pacing? As well, across all of these. Just get the facts out without any judgment or evaluation, just so you have the data correct. And that's pretty short and it's very straightforward. The second F is feelings. It's really just, how did you feel? How did you feel during the swim? Jot down some of the points that you felt. Were you in your rhythm, or were you struggling to catch your breathing? Did you feel like you were really swarmed in a group, or did you feel quite relaxed? Think about some of the emotions that you had at that stage. And the same for T1. How did you feel? Did you feel strong as you were running through transition? Did you find your bike quickly? Etc. On the bike, how did you feel? And again on the run. But beyond just thinking about your time, think about how you felt in that session, in that segment of the race. Because really it's your emotions that are really going to drive you and that you can really work to improve on as you go forward. The third F is your fuel. How were you feeling from a nutrition point of view? Did you feel energized or did you feel a bit depleted? Were you hydrated and were you well rested as well? At least well rested at the start of the race. But think about at each stage. Obviously you're not going to be taking in fuel while you're swimming, but think about how did you feel? Did you feel fueled while you were swimming? At T1, what did you do about your fuel? Did you grab the right things or did you leave some things behind by accident? Any thoughts at all that take you through this, the entire race related to your fuel, just jot them down on your own table. The next is 3 W's. Here you're looking into the evaluation. If you think about the 3 F's as really just being the factual information or the objective information as to what happened, the 3 W's are really when you get into the evaluation. So thinking across the elements of the race, just think about what was great. And this is often a step that people forget. People don't look at what was great when they review their race, and that's why they end up dwelling on poor performances so much, because they constantly are looking for things that didn't go well. So think about what was great. What worked really well for you at the swim? Was it your positioning in the start? Did you find were you in the middle of the pack or at the front of the pack? Or were you smart if you're not that strong of a swimmer, and did you stay to the side and the back of the pack at the start? How was your breathing? How was your technique? Same thing in T1 and on the bike, T2 and on the run. But think about what was great. What was things you were really proud of that you want to remember for next time? Yes, I want to do that again. The next question is simply, what's not great yet? These are the things that have room for improvement. You want to make them great. You want to be great at them, but not quite great yet. So there's still some room for improvement here. And again, think across the 5 areas. The third W is simply, what was bad? What just didn't go your way? Maybe your goggles got knocked off and you really panicked about that. Or you took in a lot of water on the swim. Maybe on the bike, maybe you dropped a water bottle. Or maybe you got a flat tire. Now, even though that was out of your control, it's still worth mentioning here so you can start planning how to respond better or how to plan better for next time. So maybe there's something silly. Maybe there's a mistake. I had an athlete the other day who ran a race and wore brand new shoes for the very first time with no socks and ended up getting lots of blisters. That was a bad decision. So not just think about what happened, but think about some of the decisions that you made across all these 3 W's. And once you got the objective facts, the feelings and the fuel, and then you evaluate it effectively by looking at what was great, what has room for improvement, and what was really bad that you need to fix for next time, the next thing you want to do is not just leave it as that information, but you want to think, what can I do about this? And this is your action. This is the A1. One action that you can take. And really just answering the question, next time I must. Across all of these 5 areas, again, next time I must, based on what you've just evaluated, what are some of the key actions you're going to take next time, either in preparation or while you're actually executing that part of the race. So now that you've got, those are the 7 steps. Now that you've got that kind of holistic view, I didn't want to overwhelm you too much at the start, but there's a couple other areas, there's 3 other areas actually, that you should also be evaluating in your race day performance. And I'm going to add in 3 columns here. And these are the 3 columns. It's not just what happens to you during your race to be at your best, of course. There's things that you can do before the race and also after the race. And you don't have to have a lot of information in every single one of these columns. It could just be one simple thought, or maybe sometimes you just feel that it's okay to have them blank. But the 1 to 14 days before the race, this is, depending on the nature of your race, if it's an Ironman, you might even want to be thinking 3 weeks out. If it's a sprint, maybe just a couple days out. But basically, in that time frame of weeks leading up, what was going on for you? What are some of the facts? Did you get your training in, or did you miss it because you had some extra stresses at home or at work? The morning of the race, how did you feel? Did you feel fueled? What was great about your preparation? What are some things you needed to remember next time for your preparation? Not only just for the race, but maybe even getting to the race. Maybe you got lost on the way or took a wrong turn. How can you prepare better for next time? And then post-race, what are some of the things that worked well for you? How did you manage yourself after that race? Did you get some recovery time in right away? Did you fuel yourself right away afterwards? Or did you forget some things and didn't have your change of clothes to keep you warm if it was a cool day? So by adding in these extra 3 columns, you can really start to get the holistic picture to really be at your best.
So there you have it. A really simple way, but a holistic way that will give you a full perspective to evaluate your race day performance, so you can take the lessons forward on what really worked for you and what can be done differently next time. So you continually progress and improve to really be at your best and achieve your full potential. I'm Chris Janzen, helping you to master your inner game of triathlon.